Hey guys! Welcome to my channel. Today, I will recap a movie called Interstellar. Sit back, relax and enjoy the movie. Cooper, a former NASA pilot turned farmer, has a nightmare about his crashing during his time as a pilot, but his daughter, Murph, interrupts him. Murph says that she thought he was a ghost and Cooper tells her that there isn't anything such as ghost. Cooper notices his wheat field is dying due to a dust storm. During breakfast, Murph talks about ghosts and science again, but Cooper tells her that she needs to gather evidences before making conclusions. On their way to school, their truck has a flat tire and they stop. While they fix the truck, Cooper notices an Indian Air Force drone and follows it, despite the truck's flat tire. Tom, his son, takes the wheel, while Murph and Cooper hack the control of the drone. Cooper tells them that the drone has been there for 10 years and suspects that it's looking for something or it is powered by the sun. Cooper plans to use the drone to create a hybrid. Soon after, Cooper receives a call that the hybrid he built is going haywire and he decides to check it out. Back at home, Cooper enters the house with Murph and goes to her room. He finds out Murph has been gathering evidences and trying to communicate with ghosts. Afterward, during a football match, Cooper tells Tom that he will be great at farming. However, they spot a heavy dust storm approaching and barely made it home. The dust enters Murph's room and forms a pattern, forcing Murph to sleep in Tom's room. Cooper tells Murph that it wasn't a ghost but gravity that formed the partner. He collects Murph's book and makes some notes. Cooper deduced that the pattern represents coordinates in binary codes and checks the map. Cooper decides to visit the location on the map, but he refuses to take Murph as it might be dangerous. However, Murph doesn't listen and hides in the truck. After a long ride, they arrive at the end of the road and see a locked fence. Murph tries to break in, but a man approaches and apprehends them. Not long after, a robot named Tars asks him how he got the coordinates, but Cooper keeps asking for Murph. Dr. Brand asks Tars to stand down and Cooper agrees to talk if he sees his daughter. Dr. Brand takes him to a conference room where Cooper sees Professor Brand, Murph, and other board members. They ask Cooper how he found the facility. He says that it was an accident, but they don't believe him. Cooper finally tells them that they learned the coordinates from a gravitational anomaly. Dr. Brand tells them that they are NASA and Cooper is surprised as NASA was shut down for refusing to drop bombs on starving people. Professor Brand says that the government realized that killing other people was not a long-term solution, so they called them back but in secret. Professor Brand says that Korn will die soon and they need to act fast. He tells him that they are not meant to save the world but leave through Rangers, the last component of their ship in orbit. After the years have gone by, Murph now works with Professor Brand to find a solution to gravity, but Professor Brand is scared that the crew might come back with no success to the gravity problem. It turns out the crew does not have enough fuel to travel to Edmund's planet and Man's planet and they have to choose between the two. Brand thinks Edmund's planet is better because he was right about Gargantua and they will find that Man's planet is not safe also. Romilly suggests that they vote and Cooper tells him that Brand is in love with Edmund. Murph visits Tom and his wife, Lois, and has dinner with them. Although Lois wants her to stay, she insists on returning to NASA. Cooper and Romilly agree to travel to Man's planet even though Brand disagrees. Professor Brand is sick, on the verge of dying. He apologizes to Murph for letting them down, but Murph vows to finish what he started. Professor Brand tells her that he lied to her as there is no way to help her father. Right after, Murph sent a message to the crew, informing them that Professor Brand is dead. She also asks if Dr. Brand knew the truth and left them here to starve. The crew travels to Man's planet, finds his spaceship, and rescues him. Man says that he has exhausted his supplies and did not set a waking date when he went to sleep and thanks them for raising him from the dead. While they talk, they receive the message from Murph, and Cooper finds out that the plan was all a lie. Brand says that she does not have any idea about what Murph wants to say, but Man says that he does. Man says that Professor Brand did not have the hope to take people off the Earth and he solved his equation before he left Earth but he needs more data to see into a black hole. Cooper suggests that they see beyond the horizon but Romilly says that they can't. Man adds that Plan B is the only way to save the world and Professor Brand had to lie to get people to work together. Cooper suggests he goes back home. Murph tells Getty about Professor Brand equation and Getty thinks they should tell everyone but Murph says that panic won't help, so they need to keep working together. Murph says that her ghost could help as it is trying to tell her something. Romilly suggests that there is a way to save the world and asks Tars to remove some components from Kip, while Man and Cooper find 3 secure sites, 1 for Brand's lab and 2 for habitable. Concurrently, Murph takes Getty to her house. Getty checks on Tom's son and advises that they leave the house. While Cooper and Man continue with their search, Man attempts to kill Cooper and he figures out that Man lied about the data he sent, as he knew that his planet isn't safe for habitation. Tom hits Getty after he tells Tom to leave. Tom asks Murph where they will live, because she can't save everyone. Murph informs Tom that Cooper abandoned them and left them to die, but Tom insisted that nobody will follow her. A fight ensues between Man and Cooper and Man overpowers Cooper. He breaks Cooper's helmet and takes its ammonia, but Cooper manages to call Brand for help. While Brand goes to save Copper, Murph concurrently burns Tom's farmland. Cooper tells Brand that Man's data is a lie. Romilly is killed due to an explosion in Man's compound. Murph returns to the house and asks Lois and her son to leave while Man tries to hijack Endurance. Man opens the hatch and depressurizes the airlock, but Man's craft blows up, causing Cooper to initiate docking. He locks Endurance to Man's craft, but they are slipping into Gargantua again. They don't have enough life support to make it back to Earth, and Cooper thinks that they should travel to Edmund's planet. Brand asks if the fuel will be enough, but he says that he has a plan. Cooper tells Brand and Tars about his plan, and Brand thinks that he should ask Tars to launch the craft manually. While they travel, Cooper tells Brand that the little maneuver will cost them 51 years of Earth's time. Getting close to Gargantua's horizon, Cooper detaches Tars and Brand and launches into the horizon alone. Heading towards blackness, Cooper tries to communicate with Tars and gets flashes of lightness and darkness. There is gravitational pull and he gradually loses control of the stick. Cooper ejects from Endurance and lands in a large structure. Cooper tries to break through the bookshelf. He sees Murph's room and tries to communicate with her. He finds out that he has been Murph's ghost all along. Murph also figures out that Cooper is her ghost. Tars communicates to Cooper and says that the fifth dimension saved it in Brand. Cooper asks who saved them, but Tars doesn't know, but states that they constructed a three-dimensional space inside their five-dimensional reality to allow them interact. Murph awaits Cooper's message while he tells Tars to speak with Murph, but Tars tells him that Murph will not receive the message immediately. Cooper insists that there should be a way to communicate with Murph, but Tars says that they didn't bring them there to change the past. He asks for the coordinates of NASA in binary and causes a storm. Cooper figures out that he brought himself to communicate with the three-dimensional world and that they are the bridge. Cooper figures out that they chose Murph and not him and vows to find a way to communicate with Murph. Tom comes back and Getty asks Murph to leave the house, but she picks her watch before leaving. Cooper communicates in Morse code with Murph using the watch. She figures out that it was Cooper's messages and tells Tom that she is going to save them. Murph returns to NASA and tries to decode the message. Cooper asks Tars if the message worked and Tars says that the bulk beings that saved them are closing the Tesseract. Cooper explains to Tars that the beings are human from the future. While they talk, the Tesseract closes. Cooper wakes up at the hospital and the doctor tells him that he is 124 years old. He also reveals that the Rangers found him with only a few minutes left in his oxygen supply. The doctor tells him that he is at Cooper Station, currently orbiting Saturn. He is told that the station is named after Murph, but she is too old to transfer from another station. However, she will be there in a few weeks. Copper is taken to his home, sees Tars, and requests for another one. Cooper rebuilds Tars and meets with older Murph. He tells her that he is her ghost and she says that she knew, even though nobody believes her. She also says that she knew he will come back because he promised her. Murph asks him to leave and meet Brand. Brand is sitting alone in a strange galaxy and Cooper goes to find her. It turns out Brand is in Edmund's planet and she buries the deceased Edmund. Thanks for watching the recap. See you next time. Bye.